Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to all my returning watchers. And welcome to all my new watchers. This is Rush to Judgment with Jessica, and I'm Jessica. It's nice to see you. It's nice to meet you. Glad to see you. So, this video is picking right back up where the previous video stopped. That one was abruptly stopped by life events. I don't normally stop right in the middle of things, but life was happening, and that was a day, and I just could not continue on. I was trying my best. So, yeah, this one is going to pick up right where we left off. I scooted it back a little bit, but not much, because we don't need to rewatch the CSI. Because this is not really the interesting portions of it all, at least not to me. It might be to some, and if it is, that's good. I'm glad it is interesting to some. But, oh, I am alone without children at the moment, but still with the four-legged children. So if you hear some barking, if you hear some barking and some tussling, don't mind it. It's just the dogs. So yeah, and if I have to mute and excuse myself for just 1 second, it is to wrangle these two. Because if you are new here, you will know that I have recently acquired a new member to the family. Her name is Poppy. She is a puppy, and she has brought havoc to the life that we lead. So, it's been fun. But we will get started with this, and we will jump right in to we're getting back into the Shelby Garmin. She's CSI tech. She's going through the house, talking about red suspicious spots that, could be blood, could not be blood. Maybe it's ketchup. Maybe it's, red jam. Who knows? Probably blood. But, they can't say it's definitively blood until they test it. But anywho, all right, I'll put that out there. I've already got it set up to where it's going to play fast because that's the way we like it. And we got subtitles on and go.
So we like an overall a mid-range photograph, just that I'm kind of zooming in a little closer so you get more of an idea of the size and shape.
No, we'll slow down just a tad.
So that is going to be the overall view of the same area that I just photographed.
The 9E, what's in here?
So that is, I'm focusing on an unknown substance, kind of red substance from the bottom of the refrigerator.
Okay. And when you said, are you referring to these things right along in here?
Correct.
Those are those kind of dots that you see in that picture?
Yes.
9F.
So that's going to be the side view of the same refrigerator with my marker still in place.
And the 9G.
That's a close-up view of the bottom of the refrigerator.
And 9H.
That is going to be the side of the refrigerator with my evidence marker.
Okay. And what was the purpose of this picture?
To show the size and scale of the unknown substance believed to be blood on the side of the refrigerator.
Okay. And those substances are indicated by the darker red dots, I guess you could say, on the side of the refrigerator that we're looking at?
Correct.
9I.
That is the same area that I just described, just with different scales, vertical scales.
And then 9J, there's a marker on the floor. What is that?
That is going to be unknown substance from the kitchen floor.
9K,
That is the same marking, but without my scale.
and then 9L.
That is going to be the close-up view of the red substance from the kitchen floor that I have marked as number 1.
And 9M,
That is going to be unknown red substance from the kitchen floor in a different area.
9N, same thing.
Correct, with scale.
Let's go. And 9O,
That is going to be the bottom of the refrigerator with outline markings from where I previously mentioned the bottom of the refrigerator.
and 9P,
That is going to be a close-up view of the markings with my scale.
9Q. What is it here?
So this is the overall view of, I would say, the kitchen island. I have marked certain items on the ground as being evidence marker number 9.
Now, as we're looking at this kitchen island, what is directly behind you?
Behind me would have been the living room.
The living room, the room we just saw earlier?
I'm sorry, living room, family room, yes.
The ones with the TV on and all that?
Correct.
So the sofa, in other words, would have been right over here.
Behind that counter,
Behind that.
yes.
Now, it looks like on the floor, and I'm going to show you 9R, are some, what was it, business cards on the floor? Were they there in that condition when you arrived?
Yes.
And 9S, what are we looking at here?
If the judge is up there,
That is the kitchen.
I guess
the
he's
overall
looking
view
at
of
the
kitchen,
pictures. I
on
was gonna
the
say,
other
is he
side-
up
on
there
the other
playing
side of that
Candy
kitchen.
Crush?
And 9T, they're kind of a reference point. So in 9T, we can see that family room that we showed pictures of earlier in the background, correct?
Yes.
And what are you looking at or trying to capture in this picture?
So this is an overall view of the kitchen.
Zoom in.
9U,
That's just another overall view of the kitchen with the kitchen
They
island.
should have a better setup for the evidence camera.
9D,
Same overall view of the kitchen.
9W.
Overall view of the kitchen.
Okay, now what is this room back here?
That is the laundry room that leads out to the garage.
And then this room right here, where is that room?
That would have been the dining room that we had previously seen.
Fantastic.
9X.
So overall view of the kitchen.
And you can see in the background, that's the dining room that we've already seen, correct?
Yes.
9Y,
That's still in the kitchen. However, it's the view of the room door leading to the laundry garage.
now were these doors open or like that when you took the pictures, or did you open them to show them?
I don't touch anything when I enter, so I'm not sure if did someone else prior to me would have done it, say a deputy or whatnot, but I would have, my overall views are always exactly how I see it.
9Z,
So that is going to be a mop bucket from the living room, excuse me, kitchen.
okay. And that was in that condition just there when you came in, correct?
Yes.
9AA,
That's just a closer view of the mop bucket.
9BB,
Closer view of the mop bucket.
9CC,
That is going to be unknown substance from the side of the mop bucket.
and 9DD.
And that is going to be the same stain with my evidence marker number 9.
Show you 10A through L. Ask if you look at that and see if you can recognize what that is.
Okay.
You recognize those?
Yes.
And what are those pictures of?
Those are the photographs that I took of the master bedroom.
They appear to be the same or potential same condition as when you saw it on that morning.
Yes.
Judge Wood states that it's 10A through L admitted into evidence.
No objection.
They'll be admitted. May I publish, Your Honor? 10A,
So this is going to be pretty much the breezeway in between the master bathroom leading into the master bedroom.
10B,
An overall view of the master bathroom.
10C,
Now I'm starting to walk into the master bedroom. So this is just overall view of the bedroom.
10D,
That's overall view of the master closet.
10E,
This is the overall of the master bedroom.
10F.
Same overall view of the bedroom.
Now, as you're taking these photographs, are you also looking for things that might be potentially evidence in the case?
Well, when I take my overall photographs, my main goal is to just document exactly how the scene is and try to capture everything that I can. If I find evidence, then yes, but I'm not specifically searching for anything at this point.
But if you had seen anything that was an unknown red substance that looked like blood, you would be taking closer up pictures of it in here?
I would not necessarily at that moment, but yes, I would.
Okay. Did you see anything in the master bedroom that drew your attention that you took photos of?
No.
As far as evidence. All right, 10G,
So this is the overall of the bed and the master bedroom.
10H,
Just the overall view of the other angle that you can see the master bathroom.
10I,
So this is a mid-range photograph of the bedside table in the master bedroom.
you say mid-range, does that mean you've seen something that you want to get a better, closer shot of?
Yes, I mean, sometimes I take mid-range just to take mid-range. However, in this case, yes, there was something that I was focusing on.
Okay, now the drawer that's depicted here, was that open when you got there?
It was open like that, yes. I don't know if when I necessarily got there, but yes, it was open.
10L,
So that is the same bedside table drawer, and I've marked it as evidence marker U.
10M,
That is going to be a gun box from that same drawer.
and 10N.
That is going to be the interior of that same gun box.
And was there a gun inside this gun box?
No.
Show you 11A through G and ask if you can take a look at those photos.
Okay.
You recognize them?
Yes.
And what are they photos of?
They are photos of, I would say, a spare bedroom that they have used as an office.
And do those pictures fairly and accurately depict what they look like on that day?
Yes.
Judge, move to have State's Exhibit 11A through G admitted into evidence.
Any objection? No objection. They'll be admitted.
And where's this room, this bedroom located as far as when you come into the house?
Okay, so like I described before, when you walk into the bedroom and the dining room is on your left, it would have been on the right.
So when you walk into the house.
I'm sorry, into the house, yes.
Okay, so the dining room will be on your left and this bedroom is on the right.
Yes,
So 11A. Would that be, that's the bedroom where you're talking about that's been used as an office?
correct.
11B,
That's as I'm walking in the same office.
11C,
This is, I believe the lights were off, so it was kind of hard to see, so I'm just trying to capture everything. This was open drawer from like a filing cabinet in that same office.
11D,
This is an overall view of that office.
11E,
Overall view of the office bedroom,
11F.
the same overall view of the office bedroom.
Now I see there's a cat litter box here. Did you see cats when you were there?
I don't see cats. No.
No problem. Okay. And then 11G,
Did she kill the cats?
That's an overall view of the bedroom office.
did you find anything that you observed in there, like any red substance or anything that drew your attention?
No.
I'm showing 12A through E and ask you to take a look at these photographs. Do you recognize those?
Yes,
And what are they photographs of?
I would say that it is the bathroom, spare bedroom, not attached to the master. Hallway bathroom, maybe?
Do they fairly, the hallway bathroom, do they fairly accurately depict what it looked like that day?
Yes.
Who that states 12A through E in evidence?
No objection.
Be admitted.
That's going into that bathroom.
Yes,
And 12B,
that's the same bathroom.
12C,
That is, I would consider that bathroom.
and 12E.
So that is the overall view of that bathroom.
Any unknown red substances or anything else that you saw of any evidentiary value inside that bathroom?
No, but I might make a correction that actually may be attached to the master bathroom, but it's kind of a separate, it's kind of like a Jack and Jill, so it's kind of separate, but I was focusing on it as the hallway bathroom, not the master.
You look at 13A through H. Do you recognize those photos?
Yes.
And what are those photos of?
Those are photos of a different bathroom. in the
Where's
residence.
this bathroom located?
So this is going to be on the, so if you walk into the residence, or saw the living room, the other bathroom was on the right of the residence.
Is it fairly accurate to take what the bathroom look like?
Yes.
Is it search 13A through 18 living evidence?
No objection, so be admitted.
It will be admitted.
This way to this bathroom that you're referring to?
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's the record, 13A and 13B.
So that's the overall interior of that hallway bathroom.
This hallway is between, is it between two bedrooms?
Correct.
13B,
That's going to be of that same bathroom.
13D.
That's also overall view of that bathroom.
Now, this bathroom, is it located close to what you later determined to be the young female bedroom?
Correct.
Living in that residence?
Yes.
Would this be the bathroom that the person who occupied that bedroom would probably most likely
There's
use?
that calls for speculation, obviously.
I'll rephrase the question. Was this the bathroom closest to that particular bedroom?
Yes.
And 13E,
That's still the overall view of that bathroom.
and 13F,
That's the overall view of the linen closet associated with that bathroom.
and 13G,
That is the sink area of that bathroom.
H. What do we see here?
That is largely substance from the false in that bathroom.
Is that the only unknown substance you found in that bathroom?
Yes.
I'll show you 14A through N as you take a look at these photos.
Okay.
And what are those photos of?
Those are photographs of overall view of a bedroom near that bathroom.
And do these pictures fairly and accurately depict what that bedroom looked like that morning? Yes. The new States to 14A through N and then the evidence.
They will be admitted.
14A. What do we see here?
So that is going to be the hallway leading towards the bedroom.
Okay, now this this area right here, was that the door that we're just looking at?
Correct.
And 14B,
That is as I'm walking into the bedroom, and it's going to be the southeast bedroom, just to clarify.
14C,
It's going to be the overall view of that same bedroom.
14D,
It's going to be an overall view of that same bedroom.
14E,
Overall view of that same bedroom.
14F,
That's going to be overall view to include the closet of that same bedroom.
14G,
Same view, just I couldn't capture it all in one, so I took multiple photographs.
14H,
That is going to be the overall view of that same bedroom.
14I,
Just capturing more of that same bedroom.
14J,
This is going to be the window from that same bedroom.
14K.
This is the same window, however, I pulled back the drapes to show that the window was open.
Now the window was open, you got it, correct?
Yes.
Right, and that's the way it looks, when you pull back the drapes, exactly like that, correct?
Yes.
14L,
It was so
Shot the
boring.
bedroom window.
Man. It's like watching paint dry.
14M.
That is going to be the top of the dresser that's in that bedroom.
And I'm gonna put it up.
Thinking about doing a live.
Top of that dresser?
I don't know when to do it.
So
I don't know what to do it
hairbrush,
over.
a little plastic cap to something, and then almost like a medicine capsule wrapper.
And this 14N.
That's a close-up of the same items.
Could you tell what these caplets were for? Were you able to see what they were?
Those were for Unison.
I think lives get your name out there a little bit more. Need to come up with some topics.
All right, I'm gonna show you what are marks 15G through 15R and ask you to take a look and see if you recognize what those photos are.
I need to come up with something to do.
Do you recognize what those are?
Yes.
And what are the photos of?
They're photographs. Just trying to. It's of the southwest bedroom of the residence.
Okay, is that the bedroom directly across the hall from the room we just looked at?
Correct.
Are these pictures fairly accurately depict what that bedroom looked like at that time?
Yes.
We have states exhibits 15.
No objection, be admitted.
Published, Your Honor. 15G, what are we looking at right here?
That is going to be red substance from the door frame, the bottom of the door of.
They have fucking ketchup all over this house.
15H. What's that?
That is deceased male from that same bedroom.
15I.
That's just the deceased male's legs.
Okay. And the blanket that's under the deceased male, that was already there, correct?
Yes.
15J.
That's just the overall view of the deceased on the floor of that same bedroom.
Were you able to observe by taking when you were taking these photos any particular injuries of note to the deceased?
He was starting to decompose a little bit, so I mean, it's yes, but not
Hmm.
specifically. The areas I knew where there probably would be injuries, but I didn't see the actual injury yet.
And then 15K.
So that was an overall view of the side of his.
Now, at some point while you're there, does the medical examiner come to examine the body and then remove the body?
Yes, so when we're processing the scene, mainly photographs and starting to collect evidence, we have the medical examiner respond out to the scene so that they can examine the body. We don't touch the body or manipulate the body in any way until the medical examiner gets there because it's under their jurisdiction.
And once the medical examiner is there and starts to examine the body, do they examine the body on scene to look for any obvious injuries?
Correct.
And did they do that in this particular case?
Yes.
And when they're there, do you take pictures of them to document what they're looking for?
Yes, so I normally take overall photographs as I see it, as you can see, and then once the medical examiner gets there, then I take close-ups once they start moving the body.
Was the medical examiner, while you were there, able to locate a wound?
Yes,
And where was that wound located?
on the back of the head.
And did you take a picture of that wound?
Yes,
It's 15. Oh, is that a picture? A picture of that wound?
yes, that's the back side of the deceased head.
Okay. And those gloves, those are the medical examiner's gloves that we're looking at?
Yes.
Because you don't ever touch and manipulate the body, correct?
Well, it's not that I don't touch the body. I touch bodies frequently. And I will assist the medical examiner as well. However, in this case, because I was tasked with photographing, I don't touch the body because I don't want to, contaminate anything. But yes, we will assist touching the body.
15N.
So that is going to be the overview of that bedroom.
15N.
That's going to be the same overall, well, not the same overall view, but the same bedroom.
15O.
That's going to be the same bedroom.
15P.
It's going to be the overall view of that bedroom.
15Q.
That's going to be the overall view of that bedroom once the deceased was removed.
And 15R.
That is going to be red substance from the kind of wicker bed frame in that bedroom.
And we're talking about that right there, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to show you 16A through P. Actually, take a look at this and see if you recognize them.
Yes.
What are those pictures of?
Those are going to be pictures that I took of the laundry room to include some of the items that we found.
And do these pictures fairly and accurately depict what the laundry room and the items you found look like on that morning?
Yes.
Judge, we got 16A through P admitted into evidence.
No objection. They'll be admitted.
16A. So just an overall.
That's an overall view of the washer and dryer in that laundry room.
Right, and that's what it looked like when you all came in before you took anything out or removed anything?
Correct.
Right. 16B.
That is going to be the same washer and dryer. However, we had started searching for stuff.
Okay. And so you just began removing stuff. Well, let me ask you this: was there stuff in the washing machine?
Yes.
And did you begin removing those items?
Yes.
And what were you looking for as you did that?
Anything of evidentiary value that we might want to document.
And then 16C. What do we see here?
That is a blue and white baseball cap that we removed from the washer that I have marked as evidence marker number AE.
And did you find something on that cap that was equally evidentiary value?
Yes.
Okay. And 16D. What is it showing?
So this is the back side of that cap with a marking that's right under the wording that is believed to be a hole.
16E
It's a close-up shot of that same hat.
and 16F.
That is going to be now on the interior. So I flipped over the hat. So this is going to be the interior view of that same hat with the hole on the other side.
Okay, and the hole you're referring to, that's the hole, correct?
Yes.
16G.
That's the same hat. I just pulled back the tag so you can see necessarily the hole as it is on the interior of that tag.
16H.
That's going to be an orange sponge that was removed from the washer that I have marked as AF.
16I.
It's the same sponge without my marker.
16J.
There's going to be blue jeans from the washer that I have marked as AG.
16K.
It's going to be a close-up view of the blue jeans that I just described.
Now, why were these blue jeans? Why were you taking close-up view of blue jeans?
It was hard to see because they're really dark and still wet. So I was just photographing because it looked like there was some substance there.
Okay, so you thought there might be possible substance on these jeans.
Yes.
All right, 16L.
So that is a plaid shirt that we removed from the washer that I marked as AH.
16M.
That is a pile of clothes that were also in the washer and they're all wet.
16N.
So
Oh my God.
16O.
This is a
Bingo.
False red substance is on the front of the washer.
16P.
It's going to be the close-up view of that red substance that I've marked as number 14 from the front of the washer.
I'll show you what's marked 17A through G and ask if you can take a quick look through those and see if you recognize what those are.
Okay.
And what are those pictures of?
Those are going to be the overall view of the garage. That was from the laundry room into the garage with some evidence that we found.
Do these pictures fairly accurately depict what they look like on that one?
Yes.
That does move to have 17A through G admitted into evidence.
No objection. Shall be admitted.
17A.
So that is me leading into the laundry room into the garage.
Now, you're coming from the kitchen, is that right? Is that accurate based on
Yes.
the other pictures we've seen?
Yes.
17B,
That is me walking into the garage.
17C,
That's the overall view of the garage.
17D,
That's also the overall view of the garage.
17E,
Just another angle of the garage.
and what we see back here, that's the kitchen, correct?
Yes.
17F,
That is going to be the doorway leading to the garage.
right, and there's a marker down there, T, what is that marker?
That is going to be, I marked it as T, and it's going to be a plastic bag that has a bleach bottle in it.
So 17G,
Yes.
and that's the blue bottle too.
Yes.
Show you 18A through D, and ask you to take a look at those, and see if you recognize what those are.
What is it
What
good
is it?
for?
Those are the hallway wall leading from the southwest bedroom.
So is this wall, the wall next to the room with the body that was found?
Yes.
And do these pictures fairly accurately depict what that wall looked like on that day?
Yes.
Move that statement to 18A through D, admitted into evidence.
No objection. Shall be admitted.
What was the purpose of these pictures?
The purpose of the pictures was because as I was photographing the scene, I noticed a very, very faint kind of
Jesus.
pink marking on the wall. And once I used my flashlight, I realized that they were ridge detail.
Oh, Jesus.
So ridge detail is what we look for when we're looking for anything that has to do with fingerprints. Everyone has ridge detail on their hands and feet. This is kind of where your it's very porous. The sweat comes out and it can leave
How many
What was the
times
color of this bridge detail?
they have to go through this
It
every
was very
time
fake.
in a trial? I wonder
18A.
how often a lawyer gets tired of hearing about this.
It
Like,
was actually
I don't
very hard to see.
fucking
I
care.
actually used my flashlight.
I know
and
how
exactly
this shit
glance
works.
When I saw it, so it's not that unless you were
Can you
actually
please
specifically looking at
not?
it, you wouldn't see it.
And 18B, that's where it's located with the marker.
Correct.
And 18C is more of a close-up. I guess kind of make out, it's obviously the glare and
Yeah.
stuff, but I guess that kind of area in there, is that what you're referring to?
Yes. So I saw a very faint, like I said, ridge detail.
And then finally, 18D, you got another picture of that. Can you see it here? Or can you tell?
Yeah, it's hard because of the lighting. Because what I'm trying to capture is because it's so light. I'm trying to capture it with my flashlight. However, that's just the beginning of that photograph. Is.
Okay, but this is the area, and these are the photographs you took of where you located, what you believe was a print of some sort and some pink substance.
Correct.
And finally, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Stacy's 5A through F and ask you if you can take a look at those pictures and tell me if you recognize what those are.
Okay.
Do you recognize those photos?
Yes.
And what are those photos of?
This is going to be the exterior of the residence and also the exterior of the residence next door, the neighbors.
And do these pictures fairly accurately depict what they look like on that day you were there?
Yes.
I moved that Stacy to 5A through F admitted into evidence.
Any objection? No, sir. Shall be admitted.
5A,
So that's going to be the overall view of the actual residence.
I noticed there's a marker there, 5. What was that?
Yes. There's, I believe it was a popsicle wrapper.
Okay, so you just marked it because it was something that didn't get along your.
Yes. It was a fairly clean yard, and then there was just a wrapper sitting there, so I photographed it.
5B,
That's just the overall view of the residence now that it was daylight.
5C,
So this is going to be the overall view of the neighbor's residence with the driveway.
Now, we know from prior testimony by the witnesses that these 3 markers here were shell casings. It appears that there's another marker right there, it's marker number 4. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
It is a live round from a 380 caliber bolt.
Right, did you discover that?
No.
Okay, but you were asked to go out and take pictures of it?
Yes.
So 5B, and gives it more indication of where it was.
This
Where
dog
it was.
scanner. So
Those
I've been
two,
trying
1,
to
2, and 3 were
figure
already-
out
those markers were already there.
what type of
So I placed number 4.
breed this dog is.
Marking it, yes.
through a dog scanner, and every time
So
I
close
scan a
up of,
picture,
the live
it's
round
something
that-
different.
F.
At the head of the
It hasn't been the
line
same
item.
damn
Can
thing
you go ahead and
twice.
type in what type of round it is?
Just say,
Right, let's see that.
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of dog you have.
It's gonna be a
Consistently is a mixed breed.
Look, that is not-
Know yet. I am aware.
Now, besides taking photographs to document what the scene looked like at the time, what else do you do as far as processing the scene? Did you remember for a moment?
Nope. You may not. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Oh, goody. That's the end of that one. Whoop, whoop.
We're going to go ahead and break for lunch. Autopsy of Robert.
Yes.
During
Oh, no. Oh, shit balls. Girl, stop.
Detective Nachtman is present and the witness is back on the scene. I'll probably simply remind you in front of the jury that you're still under oath, just so they know.
She continues after lunch. We're still on day 2.
Other than what that is.
Oh my god, she goes on for fucking ever. Oh, come on.
The jury began the process of how you do go about taking prints.
Okay, there's multiple ways that we can obtain fingerprints. Some has to do with either
You
powder,
dust
so
it.
it's like a physical
You
reaction. We also do
can
chemical reaction type processing.
spray it.
And now the
You
powder,
can-
what areas of the house did you
you
do powder
can-
to see if you look at any prints?
So in this case, I did the
Sweat it out.
kitchen island, as well as the countertops in the kitchen.
And were you able to lift any prints?
Yes.
And you did not do comparisons
Moisture.
of the prints from the kitchen island?
Correct.
The question I have for you about the kitchen island, when you dusted for prints, did you discover other things other than prints on the island?
As far as other prints or
As
other.
far as like prints of things other than people?
Okay, so I did find while I was processing, I processed the whole island and countertop. Not only did I find ridge detail from, say, humans, I also found like cat paws.
And you
Where's
were
the cat,
island,
man?
was that the area kind of where you were dusting?
Yeah, it would have been the whole kitchen counter.
All right, now, aside from the dusting
Oh,
that you did, you also said you did
no.
another
Y'all,
test. What was
where's
that?
the cat?
I processed for fingerprints using amido black.
Explain to the jury what amido black is and how it works
Okay.
to get prints.
Okay, so amido black is a protein dye stain that we use to try to enhance any kind of fingerprints that is possibly left in blood.
And when earlier today, when I showed the pictures of the wall, there was a picture of what you said you could identify by using a flashlight as what you saw ridge details print. Is that where you did the amido black?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what are marked as State's Exhibits 58A through E. Have you take a look at those, see if you recognize them.
Yes.
Okay, and what are those pictures of?
This is going to be the hallway near the southwest bedroom, that wall that I indicated before.
Okay, and the southwest bedroom, that's the body where the deceased was located, correct?
The bedroom with the deceased, yes.
Okay, and this is the wall next to the doorway that you go in.
Correct.
And you, these are photos of, these photos fairly accurately depict what you were looking at that day?
Yes.
And do they also show what you were able to lift using amido black?
I wasn't able to necessarily lift it, but I was able to enhance it.
Enhance it, that's what I meant, I'm sorry. Judge Mood has State's Exhibits 58A through E. Anything to evidence?
No objection. They'll be admitted.
Now, I'm gonna put these up, this is 58A. And obviously, it's hard to tell from these pictures, but at least the marking that you have hallway near your desk is your marking.
Yes, that's going to be my evidence marker number 13, which is going to be the hallway near southwest bedroom.
Okay, and 58B, same thing. The print that you saw was somewhere in this area, is that correct?
Yes, it's going to be close to just above my evidence marker there.
Okay, and without, this is it without, and I'll see if this is a better view of it. You kind of see it here.
Yes, so that is what I saw with, say, my naked eye in a sense. That's where I realized that there was potentially ridge detail on the wall.
Okay, and now when you do amido black, so it's not a lift, because it's not like you peel it off the wall like you do with dust where you pick up the lift, right?
Correct.
Amido black just does a reaction, but the reaction may enhance or show the ridge detail.
Right. So the difference between, say, for instance, a lift that when I was discussing processing the kitchen counter, what we do is we use very fine black powder we take a brush and we process the area of interest. In this case, it would have been the countertop. When I see any kind of ridge detail, then I take fingerprint tape, apply it to the area, lift it, and then place it on a backing card, which is where we put all the identifying information. In this case, because I was looking for blood, because I was leaning towards the fact that this was going to be blood since it was in a pink hue, I decided to do amido black. Amido black, like I said, is a chemical reaction, so it's actually a liquid that we actually spray on.
Okay. Now, prior to doing that chemical reaction, did you take a swab of that?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me what you did so as not to
Oh, God.
disrupt the
Sorry.
actual ridge detail.
Okay. So because this print was obviously very faint, we could not see it. It wasn't very visible. Sometimes that we see a bloody print that actually has blood on an item, we can kind of determine where to swab because there might be a smudge area that doesn't have ridge detail. And this one it was kind of difficult because it was so faint to begin with. I swabbed the area that I was hoping to get DNA, however, without disrupting the latent fingerprint.
Okay. Now, after you did that swabbing, the dentist said that that's when you applied the amido black.
Correct. So I photographed it without scale, using different lighting. I swabbed the area and then I applied the amido black.
Okay. So 58D. Would this be what you see after you apply amido black?
Correct. So this is going to see how it's kind of a darker bluish black color. Well, that's the chemical reaction to the proteins that are in blood. And so once you apply this, what we're looking for is contrast. Everything that we want is contrast. So with the wall being white, we wanted something dark. So I applied amido black and hoping to get contrast, and this is what occurred.
Okay. And then
I bet it's blood.
This is 58. 58.
Not
There's another
ketchup.
picture of that same print, correct?
Yeah, it's just with different lighting, yes.
Okay. And I'm showing you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 32. Explain to the jury the process after you take these photos with amido black. What happens to these photos? Where do they go?
Okay, so when I take the photographs, I download them into something called Veripic, which is a sheriff's office in order to download our photographs. I then send them digitally over to our latent division so that they can examine it.
Okay. Did you do that in this case?
Yes.
State's Exhibit number 32. What is that?
This is going to be my envelope that I was sent over to the latent department so that if there was any kind of identification or anything that they can use to actually put the prints in, because like I said, it's digital, so that they make their own hard copy in a sense.
Okay, and can you open it up inside?
Yes.
All right, does that appear to be the same print that you took from that picture we just showed?
Yes.
And does it appear to be pretty much the same condition other than some writing on the photograph?
Yes.
All right. Judge, move to have State's Exhibit number 32 admitted into evidence.
No objection.
Be admitted.
You go ahead and make a wish.
Right.
So this is the card that has been used, I guess, by the fingerprint examiner in order to potentially obtain
Yes. So,
identification, correct?
yeah. So what happened is that when I took the photograph and I digitally sent them over to the latent division, they then print it out on 1-to-1, so it's the exact size of a fingerprint, so that they can do a comparison. So this is a printed copy of the photograph that I took on the wall.
As far as the comparison goes, you don't do that. That goes to a different part of the agency.
Correct.
Now, in this particular case, because it was on the wall and you took all these photographs and it was faint and you described all that, did you do anything else with that print?
Yes.
Okay, what else did you all do?
We actually cut out the wall to obtain the print so that in case the photographs didn't turn out as good as we wanted, that the latent division would have an actual item to look at.
Right. Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 31. Can I identify that? Can you identify it?
Yes.
Okay, how do you identify it?
Identify it because not only does it have my barcode and label that I would have created, it also has my evidence tape with my ABN number and date and initials.
All right, can you open it up to me? I'd like if you could open that up and just look inside and tell me what you see.
Can you hold the box for me?
Absolutely, sure. Did you recognize it?
Yes.
Okay, and is this in fact the cutting from the drywall that you all obtained in that day?
Yes, it is.
And is it in substantially the same condition as it was when you obtained it?
Yes.
Did we got State's Exhibit number 31 admitted into evidence?
We'll take a look at it.
This is cover of it. Okay, we can. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check right now. So okay. So we got the-
To the executive judge, or just indicate to Mr. Chairman at a later time. I wanted to
Get closer look.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna publish it right at this moment, Judge, because there's gonna need to be some movement that needs to be done to it, but I just wanted to have it introduced.
Y'all didn't forget I had a whole pie in the oven.
Subject to any inspection by Nicole.
Good Lord, I could have burnt the house down. Oh my God. Say hi, puppy.
Now, other than when you're
Look, say hi, puppy.
what other type of stuff do you do? You collect evidence as well?
I collect evidence, yes.
And again, in collecting evidence, is it you that makes the decisions what to collect, the detective, or do you kind of work together as a team?
It would be a team effort because sometimes if I see something, because I'm more or less investigating the actual item or area, and then also that if the detective gets any kind of additional information that I don't know about, then we would kind of work together to try to accomplish it.
In this particular
Fantastic,
case, you collect
wonderful.
evidence.
Yes,
And one of the pieces of evidence you collected was that handgun case that was obtained from the master bedroom.
yes.
Showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit number 43 for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It has my label that I created as well as my evidence tape with identifying marks.
Does it appear to be basically the way you packaged it on that day?
Yes, except for the fact that there's additional tape on it, yes.
Can you open it up and take a look inside?
Well, goody, we're gonna struggle to get into the packaging. Okay. Evidence opening. What are we doing? What are we doing back here,
Yes.
Girl. ladies?
Move to have State's Exhibit number
What are we doing? Oh, God.
43.
Thank you. Oh, God. Okay.
Let's see if, I mean,
What are they saying? I can't hear them.
I have to. Yeah, I have. That has a
I don't like when they whisper. I can't hear them.
No objection, Judge.
Judgment public.
Go lay down. Good girls.
And at the time you found this, there was no gun inside?
No.
And the pictures that we saw earlier showed like a book inside it. Is that how it was when you found it?
Yes.
Was there also inside it a gun clip?
Magazine clip,
A
yes.
magazine clip? Showing you with the marked State's Exhibit number 44 for identification. Ask if you can take a look at that and see if you recognize it.
I recognize it based on the label.
Okay, so the label, is that your label?
That is my label that's been reprinted, yes.
And if you don't mind, can you go ahead and open it?
Okay.
And what's inside it?
So inside it is going to be my packaging with my label, with my evidence tape that has my identifiers on it.
All right, you recognize that?
Yes.
All right, and if you could look inside there.
Okay.
What-
It is a magazine clip removed from the case in the bedside table.
Does that appear to be the same one you took in?
Yes.
So do that State's Exhibit number 44 did it in evidence? Publish run? This was an empty clip when you found it?
No.
Okay, what was inside it when you found it?
13 380 auto 1-a-day live rounds.
What?
And that was located in the empty gun case as well?
It was in the master bedroom, this bedside table in the case, yes.
And also inside that case, where it was a empty ammo box, is that correct?
Yes.
Showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit number 45. Ask if you recognize that envelope.
I recognize the tag that is on the envelope.
Okay. Can you open that envelope and look inside?
Okay.
And do you recognize what's inside there?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is the empty ammo box as well as my original envelope with my identifying marks on it.
And does it appear to be substantially the same conditions when you obtained it on that day?
Yes.
Judge, who does State's Exhibit 45?
No objection.
It'll be a date. It was published today. And you said you found 13 live rounds inside that one clip, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, aside from those items of evidence that you recovered in the master bedroom, you also impounded other items from the washing machine area, correct?
Yes.
And we saw pictures earlier of a hat. Did you
Yes.
pound that hat as well?
Yes.
It was marked as exhibit number 28 for identification. Ask if you recognize it.
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It has the label that I created as well as my evidence tape with my identifying markings.
Can you go ahead and present it?
Okay.
Do you recognize what's inside?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is the blue and white hat that I removed from the washer that I photographed earlier.
All right, does it appear to be in substantially the same condition?
Yes.
Judge Booth has State's Exhibit number 28 admitted into evidence.
No objection.
It'll be a date.
Move to publish, Your Honor. And there's one other piece of evidence that you recovered that I want to go over with you. You said earlier today, when we were showing pictures of the outside, that someone pointed out to you a live casing. Is that correct? Or live shell?
It was a live round, correct?
Live
Yes.
round. The term. Did you collect that live round at the time?
Yes.
Showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit number 46 for identification. Ask if you can take a look at that.
Okay.
You recognize that?
I recognize the label that I created.
Okay, can you open it up and take a look inside?
Stop that.
And do you recognize what it is?
Yep. It is my original packaging with my label and identifiers as well as the 380 live round.
Right. Is it substantially the same conditions when you got it that day?
Yes.
Judge Booth, do at this time that State's Exhibit number 46 admitted into evidence. Publish, Your Honor. And that's what we saw as marker number 4 in the pictures earlier. correct?
Yes, in the neighbor's front yard, yes.
Now, aside from collecting, graphing the scene, as well as processing for print, what else do you do when you're there at the scenes?
I also tried to obtain DNA.
Okay, and how do you do that? Explain to the jury the process of obtaining DNA.
Okay, so we use sterile cotton swabs. So what we do is we obviously wear gloves. We, in order, if the stain is dry, what we do is we apply a droplet or two of distilled water onto a swab. We package that just as the water is, so that can be our control sample of the actual water. So then I use that same water, apply it to the swab, and then swab the area of interest. In this case, try to get blood.
All right. And did you swab some areas to the house?
Yes.
Specifically, I'm going to ask you about 3 particular areas. You saw pictures earlier of the kitchen floor. Did you swab the kitchen floor?
Yes.
And I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 59 for identification. Do you recognize that envelope?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It has my label that I created as well as my evidence tape with identifier.
You open up inside.
Excuse me.
That here to be the swab you collected. Okay.
Yes, it's the, because what I do is once I collect the swab, I would then place that in a plain white envelope, and then I place it in this evidence envelope, and it is the, my plain white envelope,
Okay.
which contains the swab.
And what happens to these swabs after you collect them and you put them into evidence? What happens at that point?
So that would be determined up to the detective whether or not to send it to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for analyzing. Yeah.
And on your envelope out there, do you see markings from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement on that particular thing?
Yes.
Analyzation.
At this time, I would move to enter.
I know
State's
the
Exhibit number
word
59.
is hard.
Hey, Judgment. If you want to give it.
Words
Can
are
you hold it up to your
hard.
side? Looks like that.
So this is a plain white envelope.
And the swab is contained inside that envelope.
Correct.
And it says for marker number 1. That would be one of the pictures we showed earlier, correct?
Yes.
Where else did you take? Did you also take a swab of the refrigerator? We saw pictures of the refrigerator.
Yes.
Specifically, at marker number 2, the west side of the refrigerator. Did you take a swab from that?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 60 for identification. Ask if you recognize that envelope.
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It has my label that I created as well as my evidence tape with my identifiers.
Can you open up and take a look inside?
Okay.
Can you recognize what's inside?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is a swab of red substance that I marked as number 2 from the west side of the fridge.
Are we almost done with you?
This time moved to State's Exhibit number 60 admitted into evidence.
Objection? No objection. It will be admitted.
And this is the envelope you're referring to?
Yes.
And that contains the swab?
Correct.
Did this also contain markings?
This
that
is
exhibit
just how they
Samuel
get all of the evidence, and they bore us to death, so
Earlier today,
we
we
die
talked about the fact that
slowly.
you did attempt to do or did a swab of where that print was located that we've just been discussing.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 61 for identification, and ask if you recognize that.
Yes.
And what is that?
That is going to be the red substance that I marked as number 13 from the hallway near the bedroom.
Okay. You can go ahead and take a look inside.
Okay.
And does that appear to be the same swab that you collected on that day?
Yes.
I should move to have State's Exhibit number, I'm sorry, I forgot this.
Yo, I set a timer. I
61
swear to God, I
minute
did.
No objection.
It will be admitted.
I'll be right back.
And again, this is the envelope you're referring to?
Correct.
Does it also contain markings that was examined by Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
Yes.
Now, aside from swabs that you collect, and the prints, the evidence, do you also do what's called a phenolphthalein test?
Yes.
Explain to the jury, if you would, what a phenolphthalein test is.
So a phenolphthalein test is a test that we conduct to try to locate blood. So it's a presumptive test so that we can try to identify whether it's blood or not to continue with our processing.
Right. And if you could, tell the jury what areas you process with the phenolphthalein test. Explain again one more time. The phenolphthalein test, it responds to chemicals in blood. Is that what it is?
Okay, so it responds to, it has a chemical reaction to the presence of blood. So what happens is that it's actually a color indicating test. So whenever we swab an area and we apply phenolphthalein to it, it actually has a color reaction.
And if that color reaction comes back a certain color, then you know there's a blood.
If it comes back as a like a pink color, then it shows a positive reaction.
And what areas did you do this phenolphthalein test? If you need to refer to your report to refresh recollection, and what were the results?
Yes, because I took multiple, so if I could, I'll just refer to my notes.
Sure.
I did phenolphthalein on the following, the following were positive. So the ones that I'm going to list are going to be the positive ones. I did red substance number 1 from the kitchen floor, red substance number 2 from the west side of the refrigerator, red substance number 4 from the kitchen floor near the refrigerator, red substance number 6 from the armrest of the couch in the living room, red substance number 7, which is the south wall of the living room, red substance number 8, which is the living room floor near the recliner chair, red substance number 9, which is unknown substance from the mop bucket, red substance number 10, which is the wicker wood bed frame in the southwest bedroom, red substance number 11, which is the southwest door frame, red substance number 12, which is the hallway bathroom sink faucet, orange sponge from the washer machine that was marked as AF, blue jean pants from the washer machine that was marked as AG. So those were all, when I swabbed them and I performed the phenolphthalein, they all came back positive for the presence of blood.
And all of those were shown in pictures earlier today, correct?
Correct.
All right, you said some tests you tested and did not.
Correct. So the following, when I performed the phenolphthalein, it came back as a negative. It's going to be the baseball hat removed from washer, evidence marker EA, the red substance from ceiling in the living room, water from the mop bucket, interior window ledge from the southeast bedroom, and then the wooden chair in the kitchen.
How long in total would you say you were at the crime scene that
That's
particular?
where she said
I
baseball hat
believe
from the
I cleared
washer.
the scene at approximately 6:30 that evening.
And all the evidence you collect, how do you move it? What do you do with it?
Okay, so what I do is I package everything in paper type items. As you can see, the envelopes, paper bags, so it doesn't have any kind of contamination with mold or anything like that. They're wet. We then transport them in our crime scene trucks. We then take them to our crime scene secure location where we can either store them, we package them, process them, and turn them into evidence.
Can I have one more minute? Yes. So just one last witness.
All right, cross-examination.
Let me start first with, just to make sure I have a good understanding. When you first were finally allowed to go into the house once the search warrant was secured, did you do an actual walkthrough through the entire house before you started photographing anything at all?
Yes,
And then you start back at the front of the house and start moving away from the house? Is that what you did?
correct. So we always start with it. We always have a flow. We always start from the outside in.
And at the same time that you're taking the photographs, the detective is walking alongside with you so that you can be discussing what it is that perhaps might be photographed or collected at some point. Is that correct?
More or less, yes.
Swabbed or anything of that sort.
Yes.
Is that correct? And you indicated that there were several other individuals that were out there doing the same thing, but in different locations. So for instance, somebody was doing some things outside, correct?
Yes.
Inside, was there anyone else that was actually photographing or collecting evidence at the same time that you were? And if so, do you recall who it was?
So I was tasked with photographing. I did all the photographing unless there was something very specific that someone else needed to photograph, but I did all the photographing. So I know that I believe Caitlin Hall would have done photographs later on, but that is specific to hers.
And with regard to the photographs that you took of the purse that was on the floor, you recall those photographs?
Yes.
Were you able to in fact ascertain through identification that that was the purse of Miriam Dean's?
I didn't, but I believe one of the detectives would have, yes.
And so that purse had belonged to Miriam Dean's, together with the receipt that was taken out that you testified about, correct?
Yes.
That would have confirmed that Miriam Dean's on that particular day had been in Jacksonville and made a purchase. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then as it relates to what you would have thought was perhaps blood, would you agree with me that the photographs as well as the swabs indicated that the majority of the concentration of blood was in the kitchen area and some of the living room area?
Yes.
And that was borne out, as a matter of fact, throughout the pheno test that you actually conducted, correct?
Yes.
The photograph that you had where you indicated and it was kind of like the chest of drawers or the dresser in the same room where the window was open.
Okay.
And you recall there were some, you indicated Unisom type of container.
There were Unison wrappers, so it would have been like around the cabinet.
In Unisom, those wrappers actually said that Unisom is a sleep tablet. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when you located the gun case that we just looked at just a few moments ago, that was in a nightstand drawer in what bedroom?
That would have been the master bedroom.
And that master bedroom would have been the one that also had, if you recall, looking at the photographs, a picture of Miriam Dean's on her dresser, as a matter of fact, in that room. That was one means by which to ascertain that was the master bedroom. Is that correct?
Is I named it as a master bedroom because not only that, yes, it was more the ones that were actually, I would say, lived in, but also that it was attached to the bathroom. So it was more of a master bedroom, yes.
And the gun case, obviously we've seen it, it's not a gun case that locks by either combination or by key in any way, is that correct?
Correct.
And inside that gun case, one of the photographs that was introduced by Mr. Terry under Exhibit 10, what you're saying is that when you open that gun case, there was literally a Stephen King book, paperback type of book, within the case itself, correct?
Yes, along with the other items, yes.
Along with the magazine clip and the box, the empty box of ammo.
Yes.
Weird. Sounds like something a strange young girl would
You
do.
indicated that you swabbed the areas that you have discussed with us. Let me ask you this question. Your photographs, although there were 407 photographs, the majority of them being inside the home, that did not photograph in and of itself all of the locations where you saw a red substance that might have been blood.
So are you saying that there was other blood that I did not photograph?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm asking that.
Okay.
And I'm not saying red substances that might have been blood.
I mean, I would photograph anything that I believe to be blood or any kind of evidence. So, I mean, anything that I would be collecting, then yes, I'm photographing.
Okay, so if you're collecting it or if you're swabbing it, you're photographing it.
Yes.
But my question really goes to, were there other areas where you saw what was a red substance that may or may not have been blood that you did not photograph and did not swab?
That I don't know. I can't. I mean, I don't know if there was more that I didn't photograph or didn't swab.
But I need just one moment.
Certainly.
I mean, if she didn't
And can,
see it,
Based on all the photographs that you saw,
that's not a good question.
based on all the photographs that you took, based on all the swabbings that you did, based on your education experience, you still cannot say today where Mr. Dees was actually shot at. Is that correct?
Shot at on his person or shot at in the
What
location?
part of the house?
No.
And did you conduct any type of pheno testing at all whatsoever on the recliner chair?
No, I don't believe so.
And the armrest of the couch that you're talking about in the living room that abuts up to the kitchen itself.
It abuts to the kitchen counter. Yes.
In that area, what you did do was photograph parts of the armrest, is that correct?
Yes.
And then obviously whatever you saw in the kitchen. And did you swab at all the armrest of the couch?
Yes, I believe so.
And the result there was positive,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes.
And you
Well, if you already know the answer to the question, why are
It
you
is the
asking?
detective that makes the decision of what swabs to actually send to the FDLE for further
If you're
testing.
gonna answer my
Yes.
question, why are you
And the reason
asking?
that it's sent for further testing to FDLE, why the swabs are, is because the phenotest in and of itself is only a presumptive test, correct?
Correct. It just gives the indication that it could possibly be blood. Yes.
That it could possibly be blood.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the phenotest can also give false positives, is that correct?
Yes.
And for the jury's purposes as well as mine, tell us what a false positive means.
So a false positive is where if you put any kind of chemical, say for instance, we process with something and then it doesn't necessarily come back as blood, that it is actually giving us a false positive saying that, yes, it's positive, but it could possibly not be blood.
And the reason for the photographing of the window that was open in the one bedroom, did anybody tell you why they wanted you to photograph that, or is it just because the window was in fact open, whereas the rest of the windows were closed?
For one, that it was open, and also that I had gotten information from a detective about the window.
And that they were directing you to do that, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, now I'd like to approach this time and just show you what's been marked for defendant's identification purposes, number 1, I through K. The ones that I had shown you.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you if you would look at those photographs and see, number 1, if you believe that you can identify them. And number 2, are they a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw on the day that you were taking the photographs?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I'll move defense exhibit 1, I through K.
Okay.
They will be admitted.
And Ms. Garman, let me ask you to do this for me. Just look at it real quickly, a little bit closer, just to make sure. I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions about what is actually in the documents on the floor.
Okay.
As it relates to exhibit 1J. You see there the documentation in terms of from Newsom I, you see that?
Yes.
And do you have a recollection of why, or why you were photographing these documents other than the fact that they were there?
So in this case, a detective was searching the room and had called me over to photograph it just because it was medical paperwork.
And the medical paperwork pertains to Nicole Nachtman, is that correct?
I can't necessarily determine that. I mean, I can't see it on there. It's kind of hard to see this.
Do you recall whether or not the documentation was found, however, in any particular room?
I believe it was in the closet of, hang on one second. That was going to be from the southeast bedroom, and one of the detectives had found it.
And the southeast bedroom being, again, the room with the open window?
Correct.
and the room that it would have been the impression of everyone that was there at the scene at that time that probably was the daughter's room.
Yes.
And do you recall, do you have an independent recollection at all that the documents pertaining to not necessarily medical per se, but that the documents related to basic surgery?
Yes.
Sorry, thank you very much.
Redirect.
Mayor.
May this witness be excused by the state? Yes, sir. And by the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. You may be excused as a witness at this time. Thank you. Now ask the state to call your next witness.
Brandon Douglas.
Brandon Douglas. Mr. Douglas, good afternoon and welcome. You'll come forward to be sworn wherever you're comfortable. So face me and raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you've given this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. All right, we'll follow the bailiff around to the ramp.
Forensics.
Please watch your step.
Hopefully, you have
We're gonna have a
something
seat.
very
The microphone is adjusted.
interesting to say.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state and spell your last name for the record?
It's Brandon Douglas, Douglas.
Thank you. Mr. Douglas, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where do you work?
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked there?
The Sheriff's Office will be 8 years this coming December
And in what position were you working with the Sheriff's Office in August of 2015?
as a crime scene investigator.
And can you tell us briefly what does a crime scene investigator do?
Our job is essentially to respond to various types of crime scenes. When we respond, we'll document the scene with either photography, video, collect evidence, and process the scene for fingerprints.
And have you received through your time as a crime scene investigator training to sort of teach you how to do those various things, process items, collect fingerprints, that sort of thing?
Yes, I have.
I want to turn your attention to August 20th of 2015. Do you recall responding to a home on Fensbury Drive on that date?
I do. I think I actually responded on the 21st.
I'm sorry, the 21st. It was. Tell us, if you will, what time did you respond on the 21st?
I arrived on scene, if I may refer to my reports,
If it'll help refresh your memory.
at approximately 3:23 in the morning.
Okay, so about 3 o'clock in the morning, early morning hours of August the 21st.
Correct.
When you arrived on scene, was the scene already taped off and secure?
It was.
Were there other law enforcement officers present?
Yes, there were.
Were there other crime scene technicians also present?
There were.
Beginning the things you've already described, photographing, documenting, collecting evidence.
Correct.
When you arrived on scene, what was your task or what was your role going to be as a crime scene investigator at that scene?
Essentially, I was tasked with doing a diagram of the scene.
Have you previously done diagrams of other crime scenes?
I have.
Explain to us how that works. How do you do a diagram of a scene?
Essentially, we'll obviously measure where we find the evidence items, and then I'll measure the wall, the distance from like a corner of a wall to a window, the width of the window, from that window to the other corner, and essentially go around the entire house doing that.
Okay, and you take measurements as you go.
Yes, I do.
Now, how is it that you determine what area to take measurements of and to put in your crime scene, and perhaps what things to put in your crime scene, furniture or other items that may be in the residence?
Generally, obviously, whatever gets deemed as something we're collecting as item of evidence, I'll measure that. The furniture, sometimes I'll just include the furniture in my diagram just to kind of give an idea of where certain rooms are, what certain rooms are. But if item of evidence may be on top of the item of furniture, I'll actually measure in the piece of furniture.
Okay, and then what about if there's other things in the captured within that diagram, clothing or hats or tools or things like that? How do you mark that in the diagram?
Yeah, if the detective deems, that's an item we're going to collect, it will be included.
Mr. Douglas, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State Exhibit 51. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and is that in fact the diagram that you just described to us that you prepared in your case?
It is.
And I should have clarified, was this diagram of the interior of the residence or the exterior?
This was the interior.
Okay, and is this a fair and accurate depiction of that diagram that you did on August the 21st of 2015?
Yes, it is.
Fair enough, this might ask with evidence State Exhibit 51. No objection.
It'll be admitted.
And ask for permission to publish.
You may publish.
All right, take a look at the monitor. Mr. Douglas, okay, and is this in fact the diagram that you created on that date?
It is.
Okay, and for ease of you staying in your seat, I suppose, towards the bottom here, it's not, we see obviously the garage. Is it fair, you have it on here labeled garage. Is it fair to say that this sort of swinging door thing here in the middle bottom of the photograph would be the front door to the residence?
Yes, that is the front door.
Everything else, the descriptions that you put, southwest bedroom, southeast bedroom, are those determinations that you discussed with whoever would have been the scene detective at that time?
Correct.
And who was the scene detective?
I believe it was Detective Thomas.
And in the back left southwest bedroom, it looks like there's a body. Is that the body of the deceased male depicted in the diagram?
Yes, it is.
In addition, and I should clarify, this diagram is
Very
something that you
good.
created more formally back at your office.
Yes, it is.
All right. In addition to creating that diagram and taking the measurements for the diagram, what else were you tasked with doing at the scene that day?
I also fingerprinted items in the master bedroom area of that residence.
Okay. And if you could tell us what process did you use to collect fingerprints in the master bedroom?
Essentially, I just used black fingerprint powder.
And are there different ways that you can collect fingerprints?
There are.
How did you make a determination to use fingerprint powder in the bedroom?
The black fingerprint powder is basically the most reliable, especially going out on a scene processing. There are various chemicals and other chemical techniques we can do, but they can potentially destroy the residence. Black powder is probably the most convenient and easy to use.
And the processing that you did in the master bedroom with the black fingerprint powder, is it something you've been trained on how to do?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And when you're processing an item for fingerprints, do you know if you're actually getting any quality prints?
Quality prints, no. But generally, when we're applying the black powder, if any ridge detail develops, we'll lift it. But we don't know whether it's actually, we'll be able to identify it, the late printing examiner.
Okay. And do you have any role in attempting to identify any fingerprints?
I do not.
I'm going to show you what's been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 10, specifically 10A.
I can
Take a look there.
collect
Do you recognize
evidence.
this to be the master bedroom or leading into the master bedroom where you collected fingerprints?
Yes, it is.
Pick up fucking everything.
And State's
Any
Exhibit
fingerprints.
10E. Do you recognize the dresser in the photograph?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize that?
That is one of the dressers I fingerprinted.
Okay. Off of this sort of white, or maybe beige and brown, long horizontal dresser that we see in the photograph.
Correct.
Did you collect or did you attempt to lift fingerprints from various places on that dresser?
I did.
Mr. Douglas, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 34 for identification.
Why are
You
you
can take a look at the
barking?
item contained in that envelope and let me know if you recognize them.
You don't need to bark. You don't need to bark.
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
These are the fingerprint cards. I placed my fingerprint lips on.
Okay. The fingerprints that you collected from the dresser that we just saw in State's Exhibit 10E.
Correct.
And other than some additional markings that have been made on these fingerprint cards, are they the same or substantially the same condition as they were when you collected them on August the 21st?
Yes, they are.
Without objection, I'd ask Mr. Evidence State's Exhibit 34.
Any objection?
No, you're wrong.
He admitted.
And Mr. Douglas, and I'm just going to show you a couple of these because there's several different ones here. We see within State's Exhibit 34, the fingerprint, the sort of, I guess, grayish. Is this the powder that you've then placed onto this card?
Yes, it is.
And then on the back of each card, there's information about, I guess, where the print was collected from. Is that information that you personally placed on the card?
It is.
Indicating what portion of the dresser, what area that print was actually lifted from.
Correct. I should actually clarify the, I put the powder on the dresser, then we take a piece of tape and put it over the lift, and then we pull the lift tape up and place the tape on the card.
Thank you. And in the photograph that we just saw, we see this long horizontal dresser with like different sections of drawers. Is that what you recall as well?
Yes.
It appears on the back of these cards that you tried to draw sort of a little representation of that dresser. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's my attempt at drawing the dresser.
Okay. And on that, we see kind of little X's here.
I
Is that also
tried.
trying to indicate where these prints on this side of the card were actually lifted from on that dresser?
Correct.
Is that what we would see on, again, as we continue through on these various cards?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Other than collecting these prints on August the 21st, did you collect any other items of evidence at the residence on that day?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Nothing further. I'll ask the question.
Libby, go lay down. Go on.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, just to make sure that I understand how to read the diagram, okay?
Sure.
So if someone is in this living room area
No.
and they want to go to the southwest bedroom, right?
Mhm.
They could travel from the living room to the southwest bathroom without ever going through the kitchen because there's just a pathway, natural pathway to go there. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Other questions? Thank you, Judge.
Read it right.
Here we go.
That is going to be excused by the state
Yes, sir.
and by the defense. Thank you. Ms. Stepchiak may be excused as a witness at this time.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Fantastic.
I'll ask the state card next witness.
Jennifer Norman?
Jennifer Norman.
Yes, sir.
That can't be right.
Ms. Norman, good afternoon and welcome. You'll come forward to be sworn wherever you're comfortable to. Thank you. You swear affirm any testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Thank you. If you'll follow the bailiff around at the ramp and steps. Please watch your step. When you get to the chair, go ahead and have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
Hi. Could you please state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Jennifer Norman, Norman.
Thank you. Ms. Norman, are you currently employed?
I'm not.
Okay. I want to turn your attention back to August of 2015. Were you employed at that time?
I was.
In what capacity?
I was a crime scene investigator for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
How long were you employed as a crime scene investigator with the sheriff's office?
Another
With the Sheriff's Office, about 4 or 5
CSI.
years.
Did you have experience as a crime scene investigator with another agency?
Yes, I did.
And who was that? And when?
Escambia County Sheriff's Office up in Pensacola, and from 2006 to 2013.
back in August of 2015, did you have an opportunity to respond to a scene located on Fensbury Drive, specifically August the 20th, or August the 20th or 21st of 2015?
Yes.
Goodness
And on what date did you actually respond to
gracious.
that?
The 21st.
And that was in your capacity as a crime scene investigator?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any involvement at that scene on August the 20th?
No.
In relation to this case, that you ultimately responded to that residence on, did you also have occasion to go to another location?
Yes.
And what location was that?
The medical examiner's office.
And is that something that as a crime scene investigator you have previously done, go to the medical examiner's office?
Yes.
For what purpose?
To observe the autopsies while the doctor performs them and to collect any evidence and to take pictures.
When you went to the autopsies in this case, on what date were they conducted?
The 21st.
The 21st of August?
Yes.
When you went to the autopsies, was another detective also present?
Yes.
Do you recall what detective that was?
Detective McCarrick.
Do you take any part in the autopsy?
I just take photos of what the doctor points out and then collect the evidence that they provide me.
So as the doctor is going through the autopsy, are you actively photographing different things that he may be indicating or pointing to?
Correct.
And is there someone from the medical examiner's office who also takes photographs during that process?
Yes, ma'am.
And then ultimately, at the conclusion of the autopsy, are you responsible for collecting any evidence that may have been obtained from the doctor during the autopsy?
Yes, the medical examiner's office actually collects their samples and stuff, and then anything that they would like to keep as forensic evidence, they package and then it's transferred to me.
Okay, and that's all done right there, sort of in your presence during the autopsy?
Correct.
Okay. So let's talk first about the female victim in this case, Miriam Deans. Were you present for her autopsy at the medical examiner's office?
I was.
Was that also conducted on August 21st?
Yes.
During her autopsy, did you take photographs?
I did.
Okay. And did you ultimately collect items of evidence?
I did.
Specifically, did you have an opportunity to collect projectiles that were recovered from the scene?
I did.
Ms. Norman, I'm showing you what's in packages, States Exhibit 38A through C, for identification purposes. If you could take a moment to, and you can use the scissors there, to open the packages, look inside and let me know if you recognize anything.
Sorry, I'm checking the numbers against my report to make sure that they're accurate.
Good on ya. Good Lord. They give them the shittiest scissors to open evidence. Like, quite honestly, the shittiest scissors. Every time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you recognize the items contained in those packages?
Yes, these are the small packages that the medical examiner's office provides to me with their labeling of where these items came from.
Okay, and do those appear to be the projectiles that were recovered from the body of Miriam Deans?
They're actually still in individual medical examiner's packets inside. Would you like me to open those as well?
Do they appear to be those same packages, what the medical examiner's office gave you when you were present for the autopsy, that you saw them packaged with projectiles in?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they in the same or substantially the same condition as they were at that time?
Yes, there's additional evidence tape on there, but yes.
You're just gonna have to move the evidence to exhibit 38.
Any objections?
No, wrong.
They'll be admitted.
Okay, and you can just hold up the individual packages, starting on 38A.
Oh my God, why do you have to go through each one? That's silly.
These are the,
Okay, and 38A, Stacy put at 38A, did you notate in your report, and do you recall what part of the body that came from on your review?
the doctor labeled this as bullet from the retroperitoneal space.
And were you present when that would have been collected and
Retroperitoneal
subsequently packaged by the doctor and the,
space.
medical examiner?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Put that back in the book. And Stacy put at 38. And where did that indicate that that projectile was recovered from on the body of Miriam Deans?
This one is labeled as bullet from abdomen.
Thank you. And 38B.
And this one is labeled bullet from neck.
Thank you. And were those the only 3 projectiles that were recovered from Miriam Dean's body by the medical examiner?
Yes.
I'll take those. Ms. Norman, I'm now going to show you what's been pre-marked as States Exhibit 39. You could open that item and take a look inside and let me know if you recognize that. Okay, and did that appear to be, well, let me take a step back. Following the autopsy of Miriam Deans, was an autopsy conducted almost immediately after of Robert Deans?
Yes, they were done in one after the other.
Okay, and were you present for the entire autopsy of Robert Deans?
Yes,
During his autopsy, how many projectiles, if any, were recovered from his body?
One.
And were you present for when that was recovered and then subsequently packaged?
yes,
The item that you have before you, does that appear to be that same projectile as packaged by the medical examiner's office?
yes,
In the same or substantially the same condition as it was when it was collected on that date?
yes.
Your Honor, somebody asked me the evidence states exhibit 39.
Any objection? Will be admitted.
If you could hold that package up for us, and if you could, tell us where was that recovered from in the body of Robert Deans?
It is labeled as bullet from the soft tissue lateral to the left mandible,
Okay, from the head.
from the head.
Oh,
After collecting these items of evidence and anything else you may have collected from the medical examiner's office, did you
it's a
then
weird
return to the
smile,
sheriff's office
ma'am.
and put those items into evidence there?
Yes, ma'am.
And now we're going to go backwards in time and start on August the 20th. Or I guess this would have been, was on the morning of August the 21st.
I was originally called about 10 a.m. on the 21st.
Okay, the morning of the 21st at 10 a.m. At that date and time, did you respond to the Fensbury drive home?
I did.
Okay. And when you arrived at home on that day, were other law enforcement already present and the scene already taped off and secure?
Correct.
What was your role and what were you tasked with to do at the home on that day?
I was specifically requested to process the window in the southeast bedroom for fingerprints.
All right, Mr. Norman, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as States Exhibit 21A through D for identification. If you can take a look through those photographs and let me know if you recognize them.
Yes, I do.
Okay, do those appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the window in the southeast bedroom that you subsequently processed?
Yes.
Fair and right, that's moving evidence, States Exhibit 21A through D.
Any objection?
No, sir.
They'll be admitted.
And ask for permission to publish.
Check over.
Mr. Norman, I'm showing you States Exhibit 21A.
You're right.
Do you recognize this to be the window at the southeast bedroom that you were asked to process?
Yes.
And 21B, another angle of that same window.
Yes.
When you were asked to process it, States Exhibit 21C, was it open in the same manner that it is in these photographs?
Yes, it was.
What portion of this window did you process in States 21D?
I processed the interior and exterior of each pane, the open pane and the closed pane.
And prior to that date, had you received training in how to process an item for fingerprints?
Yes.
And what method did you use to process the window panes that we just saw in 21D?
In this particular case, I used the traditional black powder method.
Do you have any role in later
They all did.
verifying to see if any prints were actually collected?
No.
All right, Ms. Harmon, I'm now showing you what's been pre-marked as States Exhibit 33. If you could take a look at those, the envelope and the cards contained within, and let me know if you recognize them.
I did.
And what do these appear to be?
These are the print cards that I lifted on that date from that window.
The window that we just saw in States Exhibit 21A through D.
Yes.
Okay. And are they in the same or substantially the same condition, absent some additional markings, as they were when you collected them on that date?
Yes.
All right, that's to move in evidence, States Exhibit 33.
They will be admitted.
And ask for permission.
You may publish.
All right, Ms. Harmon, look at the back of the card first. The markings that we see on here, open bedroom window southeast, are these your markings that you put on this card after you collect the prints?
Yes.
And then on the front, are these the various prints that you would expect to collect?
Yes.
And are these markings that are made after the fact by someone other than yourself?
Correct.
Did you process any other items of evidence?
No.
And did you collect any evidence?
No.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harmon. I'll ask the witness.
Cross-examination.
Just very briefly, Judge, I just want to make sure I understood you correctly, that you lifted the prints from the glass pane inside and outside?
Yes.
Did you attempt to lift prints from anywhere else, either the opening, the handle opening?
The overall window itself, I'm saying panes just for ease of reference.
So you would have, whether it was wood or whatever, and as well as the frame, you would have tried to lift prints from all around, not just the glass pane.
Correct.
And what you were able to lift is what you just discussed with Ms. Zeri, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Redirect.
No redirect.
May this be speak by the state
Yes.
and by the defense. Thank you, Mr. Down. The witness at this time. ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is 3 o'clock, so we're gonna take our afternoon break. We'll take a 15-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll go up to approximately 5 o'clock, maybe a few minutes.
Okay, well, this is gonna have to stop this one right now because I gotta go pick up some children and do that. So that was fun. Okay, well, the next one is gonna be some more continuation of day 2, and then we'll get into day 3. I think there's some more. So day 2 is going to continue on with some more CSI people and police people. But then I think day 3 gets into some police people and then some witnesses and some family and some stuff. So maybe that'll get a little bit more juicy. I don't know. This whole police stuff really just, it's a real downer because all they're doing is bringing in evidence and all of that, which is fine. Because, I mean, but we already know she did it. They didn't dispute that. I want to know what the insanity defense is. That's what I want to know. I want to get into the meat and the potatoes of it all. That is what I would like to get into. You're not getting into it fast enough for me. And I'm getting a little impatient. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. But, okay, I'll see you in the next one. Later.